Hola Madridistas, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. You guys know the drill. If you're new here, smash the likes and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2K. Um, right, where do we begin? Should be a pretty straightforward, simple shot. Post match, Cadiz at home, easy pickings, light work. But I have to commend the team, especially some of the French players and people who um, came out on the bench as well. The dedication they showed, the ruthlessness they showed, the desire they showed, even when we were 1-2 nil up. Cadiz never really had a chance. Yes, they had a couple of neat breakaways that we dealt with. I think pretty well. We'll get into it a bit more, but before that, welcome our esteemed co-host, Jacob. Talk to me.
I don't know, and I'm just
Um,
thinking, is it already like time to sing Campeones, Campeones?
okay,
I don't know,
okay,
not
okay,
yet.
okay.
Yeah,
If the scoreline stays the same in Girona, maybe.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I was happy with the game, and all of my eyes were on basically a few players, Carvajal, Camavinga, maybe a bit on Courtois, of course, just to see if he was sharp or enough to like maybe start the final, because we already know Carlo already said it's gonna be Lunin, but Courtois looked really reassuring. I saw really good performances from a lot of people, not so good performances from a couple of players, but yeah, we got the job done. Super happy. Probably, if things go well, if things go the same way at Girona, we can start singing.
Yeah, keep an eye on the scoreline. Yeah, like I think it should be still 1-1, right?
Still 1-1, yeah.
Dobvik
17th
and
minute.
Christensen on the score sheet. Yeah, expected fireworks from Catalan Derby. Um, where should we begin? Right, Hosselu had some chances. I was particularly impressed with Fran Garcia, who like after his demotion from basically a out and out starter at that left back. Whenever he has come on, he has really put on a show. Has had phases where he has looked super energetic. Has provided impetus from the bench in games where we were crying out for an influx of energy. How impressed were you with Fran Garcia in general? He should have at least bagged an assist today.
Yeah, even in the Real Sociedad game, he looked really sharp on defense at least. He was up to the challenge of Kubo. This time he did not have too much of a challenge on defense, but he did his job right. He was neat in possession. Um, he did like he tends to do. He does overhit some of his crosses, most of his crosses, but I feel like he did contribute well to the attack today. He was always like a danger that Cadiz had to be wary of.
100%. Fran Garcia, like it'll only come to fruition when the season is over because someone who initially really didn't look like he had the confidence, he had belief in himself is slowly getting that. Maybe um, starting out right from the get-go was a big ask when he can be a very capable deputy for Mendy. I think he can really stake a claim in the squad and basically deliver on what was kind of promised. Um, but yeah, man, moving on from Fran Garcia, let's look at Militao, right? Happy with his return to the team. He has been looking okay, but he had a couple of iffy moments, gave the ball away for a very dangerous break on by Cadiz. Debo had to step in. But first, let's get to Militao. Couple of good layoffs, especially from set pieces, where Carvajal should have definitely buried that chance. I know it's kind of coming at him at a, great pace. Probably would have been a bit difficult for him to kind of anticipate. But Militao, man, Jacob.
Yeah, man. I'm not totally convinced. He has looked shaky. Like for a defender, these one or two moments, that's all it takes in a game. We saw that with the likes of Varane, not being totally ready for a game. I feel like that's the case with Militao as well. He's like not ready, at least for me, in the next two games. He still needs game time to absolutely get his sharpness back. But overall, he
Yeah,
looked good in possession. He kept the ball moving. Yeah, really dangerous on set pieces. He really wanted to score. He was really frustrated with himself. That's always a good sign that he's just trying to get back into fitness. When things are not going his way, he knows that he just needs to work on it. So I see some positive things. It's just that he's just not ready at the moment.
yeah. Like people just get carried away, right? Like I remember, like even before the City second, like people were like, get him in the second, like get him in the starting 11. People just forget that he, came off an ACL injury. No matter how sharp he looks in a isolated 20-minute against mid-tier sides in Spain, it's a completely different kettle of fish. Going up against the very top sides in the Champions League. Militao, for me, he will require to basically play a lot of games, many games now to from now towards the end of a potential Champions League final. So it's way too early. Like even in the Champions League final, like I wouldn't be too confident in him, because if we do make it, it's an F. Let's be honest. I won't be delusional. Bayern is a test. It's going to be a very stern test. But if we do make it, it's barely a month away. So he might get a good 3 games, but is that enough for a game of you know um, stakes as high as the Champions League final? So Militao is a long way back. Next season, yeah, we will talk about Militao. His recovery has been phenomenal. Let's be honest. Um, Nacho, right, had his pocket picked a couple of occasions, but in general, steady presence, super selfless to lay off the the assist for Hosselu. Um, Showed immense presence of mind to basically make the late run up ahead of Winnie. Showed composure. Yeah, man. It'll be a sad sight to see him go.
Yeah, is it known for a fact that he's actually leaving? I know that he's looking at the MLS, but is that
Even
known?
guys like Fabrizio is constantly reiterating that he's bound to leave. I
Yeah.
mean,
It'll be a sad sight. Like even this game, it meant a bit to him in front of the Bernabeu. So all of that. I mean, for me, it's not just the goal. Like, yeah, that was a beautiful moment. He just laid it out to Joselu, just helping the team out. Like, even though he could have taken the chance, like nobody would have blamed him. For me, it was not that. Like the game-defining moment from Nacho was when
the
Ramos.
challenge on Sobrino.
Yeah, when Ramos actually broke away and he decided not to
Yeah,
actually put in the tackle and take the red card, that would have actually changed our game. We wouldn't have probably have won if Nacho had did that. He had the presence of mind to know, hey, I can actually trust Courtois. It's fine. We still have a lot of minutes to play, so just let him go. And in the end, I think this was the game defining moment, and he got it right.
100%, and a huge challenge on Sobrino as well. I think somewhere in the
Oh yeah,
uh, towards the midway point of the first half. Um, yeah, Nacho overall, this season we have talked about it enough. Like he has had some hairy moments, but we saw what he could do against Bayern, against City when it mattered. He has stepped up. Nacho has stepped up big time, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts again against Bayern on Wednesday, because Tomei in midfield is a great um, factor that might propel us to a win. Um, but yeah, man, Nacho super happy, super happy. I just hope that from now on until the end of the season, he gets to start a lot many more games and just go out on a high. If he can be going on, I don't want him to go out. Um, Modric is rumored to get an extension, and like I would love to have same consideration given to him by the club. But yeah, talking about Luka Modric, man, again, orchestrating a large part of what good we did, especially in attack, um, combinations with you name it, Goler, Brahim, Ceballos, dropping deep, making late runs, linking up edge of the box, putting in some very decent deliveries. Um, Talk to me, man. Had the assist for the Brahim goal as well. Had the key pass for the Jude goal as well. So overall, he was instrumental today.
Yeah, like in the first half, I feel like there were moments when he could have done better. Like the Luka Modric that played
Mm.
in Bayern, he would have probably sent a few players like into the box through on goal. But overall, he looked really sharp. He looked very comfy actually playing with Kamavinga. I think that was a good combination. These guys actually controlled the midfield, made sure that Cadiz never had like a breakthrough outside of like obviously the defensive mistakes or like the giveaways. These guys actually held it together. So super proud of him for that. And yeah, uh, I was surprised not to have him like taken off a bit sooner. Maybe give Chomini some minutes because like we will actually have to depend on him in the Bayern game for
So
if he'll start.
many, so many some minutes was a risk because he had
Mm,
a knock.
yeah.
So they were, kind of keeping him um, away from any action. I feel like because if there was a slight chance that he could play some minutes, Carlo would definitely would have, going off by evidence. Vinny and Jude came on, right?
Yep.
Um, just to
Valverde came on.
get warmed up.
If there was one player I didn't want to see on
Yeah,
the pitch today, it was like Chomini and Valverde, but
yeah.
Valverde had to come
But
on.
Fede came on. Yeah. Um, But yeah, Luka Modric, then again, like your grievances, I 100% get it. But remember the first 25, 30, 35 minutes, because of the numerous rotations, especially from Carlo, the players really found it hard to, get any sort of momentum. The team shape was way off. Gula was doing his own thing. Brahim was doing his own thing. The cohesive part of our attacking play was yeah, largely
Non-existent.
lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like it's expected these French players, like I feel for them because the league is basically done. This is one of the last few home games of the season. They just want to impress. So when you are consciously trying to kind of gain a connection with the fans, you tend to take longer touches. You just tend to be a lot more ponderous in possession, um, trying to maybe make the perfect play or trying to do something, improvise a bit more when something simple would suffice. It just plays into players' psyche, and so many of them are fighting for contracts. So many of them are kind of unaware what their future is looking like, in a month's time. So it is what it is. Kamavinga, right? Um, Beacon of energy again. Like we can expect, we always expect him to be not the most tidiest in possession. He can have some, erratic passes here and there. But what stands out with Kamavinga for me every single time he steps on the pitch is his willingness. If he makes a mistake, he's basically willing to go the distance to win the ball back. To basically uh, and correct what he did wrong. It just is like I would go as to say he is the team's equalizer. When Kamavinga steps in, you just know that if things go south, Kamavinga is going to be there to help us out 90% of the time. Um, like, do you reckon he has grown himself as a package over the course of this season, especially? Last season, it was the whole talking point of him being versatile, left back, left back, left back. But but once he has had the consistency even off the bench in midfield, he has really showcased. He can do a lot more.
Yeah, he has shown that he can be someone who we can depend on. In previous seasons, that wasn't the case. He was constantly giving the ball away, even putting rash challenges at CDM. But this season, he
Mm.
has actually taken a step above it, at least in his maturity. I feel like he still needs to work on his passing range. But outside of that, like he's someone we can actually depend on if we want to defend a goal, or to just keep control in midfield. He has that in him right now.
100%. Kamavinga, like sometimes I see, him basically pulling off stuff that he has no right to pull off. So many instances, against Cadiz today. He was basically in a cul-de-sac where there was no way out, and like he just manages to keep possession, battling to 3-4 tackles en route, still maintaining balance, still staying on his feet. Kamavinga is a machine. Not gonna lie. The Germany hype train is well and truly deserved, and he's gonna be the guy. When we do our season ratings, is gonna rank higher than Kamavinga. That's no surprise. Germany has been uh, a brilliant player. People forget that Kamavinga has how many years? 3 years on Germany. He's 3 years younger, right? At
Yep.
least 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's
So
three or
Kamavinga has,
4 years. Yeah.
yeah, Kamavinga has time on his sides, and all these players, like if this year was Germany's, you never know. Next year would be Kamavinga's. They all have a huge part to play. We are fighting for 6, 7 titles in the season. Um, these guys, will all have a say. Let me get to a few of the comments. Big up the chat every time. Farouk is in the building. He says, another step closer to the double. The stadium's atmosphere at the near end was fantastic with tackles flying in left, right, and center. 100%. Yeah, the people are up for it. They were already celebrating at full time. Even before full time, Campeones was ringing, around the stands. Very, very good to see. Very good to see. And they just know the entire mood in the stadium is one of team confidence, and I don't fault them for that. With Wednesday on the horizon, I just hope we don't get overconfident. That's my biggest worry going into the buy. I don't like the general consensus where we are being framed massive favorites. I just don't like stuff like that. Path of Path of Musashi, pick up yourself. You were saying Bayern lost 3-1 to Stuttgart away. I was kind of looking towards that tie, but couldn't couldn't remember to basically go back and check the scoreline because I was too busy with our game. But Stuttgart, man, what are they? Third place side in Bundesliga or second place? Third place, I
Third
think.
place. Yeah.
They're third place. They're not to be taken lightly.
Man, but
Very good
I would
players.
say
Mm.
yeah, Stuttgart are a good team. I don't think I think they Bayern treated that game like similar to us. Like they had nothing to like work for.
Yeah, the guys like Davis started.
Yeah.
I remember seeing. I think Guerrero had a knock or something. I'm not sure. Someone in the chat can confirm it for us. Because if he has a knock and he is kind of out of Wednesday, it's going to be a massive loss for them. He might not necessarily start, but he can basically, like he did on Tuesday last week, he can basically step into defense, midfield, or even on the wing and do a job. He is very important for Bayern. Yeah, hope he doesn't have a knock. We need everyone in the best shape going into such a massive semi-final. If he was asking us what's up, man? Campeones settings, 36 settings for
Yeah.
today.
I mean,
Um,
for me, it's like a tale of two things, man. Like, obviously, we are celebrating, but there's like so many, like these three teams in La Liga, they've gone for sure. Cadiz, Granada, and Almeria. They're most probably relegated. They have. I don't see a chance of them making it out. And then, like, I feel like we still have like a few positives to look at. Espanyol could be back. Eibar could be back. Leganes could be back. Valladolid as well. They're having a good season Liga too. So yeah, on one hand we're celebrating, on the other hand you just could see it on the face of the Cadiz players. They try to give it their all. They've been trying to claw their way out of relegation, but in the end they couldn't do it.
They had a few good years at the top flight, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They had like how many consecutive years? I think 2 or 3 minimum,
at least, yeah.
right? So the size of a club that Cadiz is, it's been a tremendous achievement. We have to tip our hats to them. They'll be back in no time. Cadiz has a fighting spirit. Um, when we always thought that Cadiz was, could be not as difficult as some of the lesser clubs, like let's say Las Palmas, for instance. But when we have always traveled to Cadiz, it's a very tricky fixture. They're always up for it. They put in uh, a tremendous fight, keep it compact. Yeah. Big up Ashiki was mentioning the French midfield with Camavinga and Germany plus plethora of other youngsters looks scary. Yeah, scary times for all the top sides in Europe, because if we even the other guy, I can't pronounce his name to save my life. Must Mustantuo Mustantuo. We're looking at him. He seems to be a very big prospect. I haven't really watched much of him. Neither of us have, let's be honest. But I haven't even watched some of his compilations.
I
But
have,
he
man. Like
seems like the next.
he reminds me of who is this guy? Nico Pass a lot.
Really,
Yeah.
and we have Nico already here, and we are not willing to take the bank on him. And he was, remember, like a couple of years ago, he was framed to be this next big thing as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, stuff like that really don't make sense. And Mastantuo is what, 35 million, 30 million?
Yeah.
Is
Should
it?
be.
So it's not peanuts either, considering how young he is. But I don't know. They rate him very highly. Should be for a reason. But yeah, we should keep tabs on it. But like we have to trust Juni Calafat. This guy knows what he's doing. I can't bet against the man. Nobody will. Um, right, right. Who should we talk about next? Ceballos. Let's give him some credit. I know he wasn't perfect today either, but decent performance. Jacob.
Do we have to talk about him? Yeah, man. Like every time Ceballos comes on, like unless he's like playing very deep, he always has that one mistake in him in a game. But this time he did not have
Yeah.
that. Whenever he works in the final third, he's always good. He links up the play well. He always sees that pass, that nobody else sees, but it doesn't always come off. It didn't come off today. But I feel like he had some good connections with Modric and Arda Güler.
Had a half chance of a shot as well.
Yeah.
Ledesma kind of made himself big and kept it out. But yeah, Tavares did some good things. It's really difficult for me to speak good of this guy, but he 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 had an okay game, decent game in fact. Um, right, Brahim. Um, every single time, apart from maybe a couple of occasions throughout the season, this man has stepped up. Whether it be a key pass leading up to a goal, crucial assist, game winners, left, right, and center. Um, early season review, player review, Jacob Brahim on a scale of 10 so far. What would it be for you?
Yeah, man. I think I'll have to compare him with Asensio, right? In the start of the season, we were saying, "Hey, man, like we'll be really happy if he can match like close to or somewhat a bit lesser than Asensio." I think he has surpassed that of what Asensio offered us last season. So yeah, I think overall for me, coming off the bench, he's been so impactful. He's actually won us some points. Whenever he's come on, he's looked dangerous. When Bellingham's been out, especially, he has been able to actually make up for it in the attacking
Even in
sense.
the Champions League, last thing only.
Yeah, Leipzig,
Banger.
the Braga game. What else? Who else was there? Yeah, even in the group stage, I feel like he had some really good performances, especially at the time when Bellingham was out. So yeah, a solid 8 out of 10, man. Nothing to complain about here. I was always worried that he would lose this form towards the end of the season because that's what I was used to seeing from him at AC Milan. But he has actually stepped
Mm.
it up, worked hard. He still looks fresh. I'm actually like excited whenever it comes on, even against Bayern. If he need a goal, I really trust him to come on and actually deliver.
Massive goal. Then again, we were kind of hitting blanks with chances. We barely had a clear chance, apart from the Militao long ranger in the first half. It was Brahim, that was making the most of what we could, what little we could muster. Twisting players inside out. He just has a magnet on his feet, right? It's just so difficult to knock him off his stride when he gets going. He's just he just gave Cadiz nightmares throughout his stay on the pitch. But yeah, man, Brahim's shot again, picture perfect. Picking out the top corner the way he does so often. Yeah, the way Brahim turns, right? Like one moment he's facing you, boom, he's gonna just pivot the other way and bury shots like that. He can do it all day long. Um, he makes it look super effortless. Huge fan of Ceballos. I mean,
Brahim
Brahim Diaz.
Diaz.
Huge fan of Brahim
Man,
Diaz.
I'm gonna cut that out, and then put that on my Instagram
No,
stories.
you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Let's not dunk on Ceballos. He should go on and have a good career. Somewhere that is of his level. But yeah, man, Brahim super happy, super happy.
Yeah, Father Musashi
Also
says I never realized Brahim has 10 goals and 6 assists this season, all comps. That's more than like
16 GA.
yeah.
Yeah, is not bad for someone who has been largely a French bit part player. But yeah, whenever he has been called upon, has delivered leaps and bounds. Um, right. Also laid off the assist for
The Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham. Surprising a bit. When Jude Bellingham came on, and immediately this happens. We have seen that kind of towards the first half of the season, but after that, he has struggled to make that kind of instant impact. Whatever he touches turns to goal, kind of thing. Started deeper, which has been the trend with Jude in so many games in the second half of the season. But yeah, basically starting the move, finishing it off. Jude Bellingham, easy goal for him.
I wouldn't say easy. Like what he did before the goal, like that was more harder. He controlled the ball, like
100%.
made the right pass to Modric, and then Modric laid it off. And he still kept running. The defenders just they were all confused on who to mark.
Moment you have to get in front of the center backs.
Yeah, it was a tight
Basically,
space. He made the absolute right run at the right time. So, yeah, that is not fluke, man, and that he has proved that throughout the season. And I'm sure even like whoever comes next season, he'll still bang in a lot of goals.
100%, especially if we have a focal point, it makes Jude Bellingham's job a lot more easier. Because people are going to pay a lot more attention to someone of Mbappe's ilk, compared to a guy like Hostelu. But yeah, Jude Bellingham, easy stuff. But it just had to be the combination of Jude to Luka to Brahim to Jude again. Yeah, man, Luka Modric. We spoke about him, right? We spoke about him, right? Fair enough. Hostelu. Let's get it, you know, um, get it off with. Um,
Uh,
Did he really have a lot many chances? The service wasn't great, right? Wasn't
So
great. Um, go on,
yeah,
go on,
man,
G.
like I don't know, it wasn't great, but
The
it was still
Kamavinga chance. Remember the Kamavinga chance
yeah,
towards
yeah,
the end
yeah.
of the first
I
half?
think he was
He was
like
offside.
marginally offside, but still it was
Mm.
like a decent chance. That's the thing with Jose Lu, man. Like one moment, he while he slices at the ball, he loses the ball like awkwardly or something. But the next moment, he's pulling off these flicks. You remember the flick, or like that almost found Arda Güler. He can actually do some.
Yeah,
He can actually do some magic. It's just that he is inconsistent. So that's what you can expect from this man. But I'm so glad that he actually buried the chance that Nacho laid off to him. If not, like I would have been fuming, and I'm sure Nacho would have been fuming as well.
100%. Nacho could have easily scored a goal, at that point. But 9 goals for the season. Someone who came in with next to zero expectations. Um, you know, loan loan signing with no obligation to buy. Kind of a fairy tale. Coming to life. Basically, him getting a second chance to be part of the first team at Madrid. His childhood club. It just is a very good story. If he can top it off with a goal, against
Oh
Bayern
man, Bata
last
Musashi
season.
says Barca actually win a
Yeah.
pen.
Oh, okay.
I still
Good
don't
to
see
hear
it
his
updated on the scoreline though. Like I'm not watching the game, but I'm just looking at the score.
slightly he cuts down the edge of the box. It doesn't matter if it's not this week; it's next week.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's only a matter of when, not if. So let Barca have their fun, man. They can celebrate that. They kept the trophy away from us for another week.
Yeah.
It might just make their season. It's 2-1 to Barcelona. Right. But yeah, I'm super happy for Hosselu. I'm just hoping that he comes on against Bayern, or if we do get to the final, uh, he might have a goal. Just imagine that it'll be just ridiculously satisfying.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, it'll be just stuff of folklore. He'll just yeah. Because let's be honest, a guy like Ceballos had a chance to score against Liverpool, in the 21, 22 Champions League final. So you never know, man. Just hoping we give him enough minutes, at least 2 to 3 minutes, if the game is going well, for him to, do something. Um, yeah, super happy with Hosselu. Guys on from the bench. Vinny, decent. Rabona cross,
Oh, that was filthy,
basically.
man. That was probably one
About
of the
like
best crosses that I've sa- seen this season. Amazing. And
100%.
Militao was so mad that he couldn't put it in.
Yeah, basically out of nothing, right?
Yep.
Out of nothing, because the angle was so acute. The defender had him, and then boom, he just pulls it out of his bag. Um, yeah, Vinicius, man, decent. Guller, we didn't speak about Guller. Were you kind of a little underwhelmed by Guller? Still was
Um,
okay. Still was a bundle of energy.
Man, I honestly think he had a much better game than Real Sociedad because that's not his strength, right? He isn't that deep player who can actually win the ball or like keep control of midfield. I think this is where he actually excels at the edge of the box. We saw the potential,
Mm,
how he combines with these players, his creativity.
yeah.
It's just that none of that actually came off today. But you can
Hmm.
definitely see the potential, and I feel like if we have to get the best out of Guler, it's these situations where teams just sit back. We need to put him on, and he can actually make magic happen.
Mm, yeah. Almost scored with a free kick as well. Remember, it
Uh,
was just inches wide
yeah.
of Ledesma's left hand left hand post. Um, yeah. Well, Guller would be super happy with all these minutes. He already has a game winner in his locker. So for a debut season, should be decent. But he'll be looking at guys like Kamavinga who had a much bigger role. But the landscape has changed. Kamavinga was one of a kind. Let's be honest. Kamavinga was truly blessed, finding truly the stars shone brightest that year. In general, for Kamavinga, he just had that ability to turn the game. But Gola will get his chance 100%. Um, who else are we missing? We talked about Jude.
We t-
Fede couldn't really get into the game much. Thibaut, brilliant save. Had some, he looks okay. Looks
No.
sharp on the ball as well.
Yep.
Had a couple of neat clearances. Came off the line early. To kind of stop a counter. In its roots. Um,
Yeah, man.
would
Like
you would you would you really entertain him, Bayern,
Um,
Jacob?
like it doesn't matter if I can entertain or not. Carlo already came out and said, Lunin is actually starting. But for me, I wouldn't mind, man, because maybe it's just a psychological thing. Every time that our box is in danger, I just feel it's so at peace, having Courtois there. And I never saw us like really conceding a goal because he was always up strong. Even in corners where we are allowing free headers, somehow he just looks way more secure than Lunin for some reason. Maybe it's just the frame, the height, or just a psychological thing. But yeah, man, I totally trust Thibaut, and I wouldn't fault Carlo if he actually keep starting Koto until the final.
Like I'll say it again. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not because I don't love Thibaut, but I've said that on so many occasions that it'll be a huge disservice to how much Lunin has worked hard. But I know it's not the time for sentiments. One one bad decision is going to cost us dearly. I just hope that's not like he can hold it together for two more big games. One more definitely and one more potential. Um, but yeah, Debo, like you said, nobody will bet against him, right? I was just concerned about how sharp he would be, and he just showed he is sharp enough. But then again, what is Cadiz the right metric to kind of measure someone coming off such a big injury?
I don't know.
When
Like,
the league is
look
basically
at the
done.
chances we conceded, man. Like, there were a lot of very iffy moments. I feel like maybe lesser goalkeepers would have maybe conceded a goal.
True, 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 true. But can you really measure if he's this is Thibaut we are talking about, right? Yeah, average goalkeepers would have conceded, but is Thibaut really at the peak of his powers? Can we really say
I
that?
don't know. Like,
I
not
couldn't
looking at
really.
this game, we can't tell, man. Like, he wasn't as
Mm,
challenged.
mm, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, let's see
Probably
how
up with
Lunin
Bayern.
does in the second leg. Like he still had some iffy
Mm,
moments in the last few games, a couple of games in the UCL. Uh,
yeah.
you still feel like there's that mistake left in him. I just hope he can actually turn it around, and it'll depend on that,
Mm.
on how on the prospects of Koto actually starting the final.
Like I just worry about the psychological side of this whole equation
Mm.
because he sees Thibaut starting and looking so confident. Obviously, like there won't be any animosity. Like, we have seen Kepa stepping in and being uh, support system. So to say. So if Ilunid is pitched to start, Thibaut is gonna completely back him, but it's gonna just play with his psyche. I feel like
Yep.
when he sees that
It's just
Thibaut is
additional
back.
pressure. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's an interesting point, man. Do you actually see Kepa getting another start? I don't think so. I feel like it's all gonna be Koto and Lunin the rest of the season.
Yeah, Kepa won't touch the field again. But I'm just saying in general, like for not in general for Lunin, when Thibaut is basically waiting on the sidelines for something to go wrong, it just would play into Lunin's psyche. I just hope yeah these guys hold it together. Stand as a team and see us through against Bayern. Um, I guess that's pretty much it, man. But Barca is kind of leading. Um,
First
and
time
Girona,
Lewandowski, squares it in.
yeah, scoring a pen. I think he's one away from. Is he one away from Jude? Yeah, he's one goal away from Jude. But I think it's the perfect time to play the average. Big up Manscaped every single time.
This episode is
Big up
brought to
Doris
you
as
by
well.
the spring cleaning champions Manscaped, and this season we partnered up with them to make sure everyone's grass is cut up to standard because Xavi has been complaining and it's been annoying our secretary. So join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this special offer. Go to manscaped.com, use code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping at checkout. So introducing this season's MVP is the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It's a trimmer with two blade heads, one to just take, a little off the top, or the foil blade basically to go super smooth. And you can use this in the shower. It has two bright LED spotlights, so there's no accidents in the shower. And yeah, it's waterproof, it's easy to clean. You can put this in your travel bag, in your drawer. So to get the full grooming experience, you should get the Beard Hedger Pro Kit and the Handyman Electric Face Shaver. Basically, you get extra parts to really create your signature look and clean up your neckline. So use code LBR20 at checkout to get 20% off and free shipping. That's LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. And thank you for watching. Back to the video.
Yeah, we're back. Like,
Big up Doris, big up Manscaped. You guys know the drill. The link is in the pin chat, in the live chat. The link is in the description below as well. Big up Manscaped, pioneers of men's grooming. They have a huge catalog, of products, trimmers, waxes, launchwear, you name it. Manscaped has it. Go show them some love. Show us some love. Pick up Manscaped every single time. Get 20% off and free shipping on Manscaped.com. Um, your dog is going mad, Jacob, right? So I hope the guys won't
yeah,
hear
it's
it.
this is exclusively for you. Yeah.
Big up, Jacob's puppy. But yeah, let's get into a few of the comments and kind of slowly wrap this up. Right. Let me see where to begin.
From Pata Musashi's comment about Nacho.
Yeah, Nacho being unselfish and assisting the last goal, knowing that this might be his last ever chance to score a goal for Madrid. My guy shows his true colors and assists it instead. Yeah, what a character Nacho is, 100%. Right, Ashik was saying Gula needs to have patience. He'll get his chances if he just focuses on doing what needs to be done. The talent isn't in any doubt. The head is a different matter. Yeah, it'll only get better. The temperament, the stuff upstairs will only mature. Pataf Musashi was also saying he agree he needs a cool head. Getting angry over not receiving passes and things not going his way aren't going to do him any favors. Did he really appear to be petulant today? I didn't see that.
I feel like
Did
he
you see
was
that, Jacob?
like even on the Real Sociedad game, he always asks for the ball even when the pass isn't on, and then he just shakes his head, or he isn't complaining or like telling off his teammates or anything. He just like looks
He's
frustrated.
immensely disappointed, right? Yeah, I've seen that, but it just comes with the age. He just desperate to impress. Right, Flameboy says hello everyone. Big up yourself. Yeah, Ashika saying big club football life doesn't work that way. There is only one mega star at clubs like Madrid. It's the club itself. Ashik was mentioning we are so good that a goalie can come from the bench and still get a clean sheet, as we have shown today. Yeah. Musashi was also saying that's the case, especially in Madrid, where players like Zidane, Cristiano are also booed, if not giving their everything. Right. Don't forget to praises bias. Right. Oh, yeah. Absolutely fumble the bag. Career low for me, but. Big up the chat every single time. Big up our partners on Instagram, Real Madrid Committee. They run a brilliant fan page. Go check them out. Big up our listeners on audio platforms. Over 1K followers on Spotify. Keep smashing the follow. And also, guys, it will be a huge win for us if you could, rate the pod. Don't forget to rate it. If you're regularly tuning in. As well. So, like, I also would like to kind of apologize for the poor, scheduling with the Big Three show. A couple of guys couldn't actually make the last episode, but it'll be back again hopefully Monday. So keep an eye out. Pick up, halfway the Alex and Sam doing their thing. Big up our team in Madrid as well. If you like the content, the boys are piling in, especially from outside the Bernabeu. Show them some love. The world is recognizing. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. We'll be soon featured on BBC. Like we had told you guys a couple of weeks ago. Massive moment for our family. Wasn't something that we were really expecting. They even reached out to us after that. They would like to keep working with us in the future. So fingers crossed. There's a lot more in the pipeline, especially from outside the stadium as well. Um, Ajay Makwana says, Ala Madrid, big up Ajay as well. But yeah, people, I think that's pretty much it from us. Hopefully, Barca fumble the bag and we can, go to Cibeles after we get the job done against Bayern. A huge preview coming up, hopefully Tuesday with the Bayern view. Big up Liam. We'll be kind of doing a double feature. We'll be, doing a preview on ours, and then probably we'll be, going heading over to his channel as well. Go check out the Bayern view. Brilliant Bayern fan channel. But yeah, season decider. I repeat, season decider. We have to, completely leave everything on the line. Bayern is not to be underestimated. They're gonna turn up. They're gonna turn up. There's some insane stats going around. Bayern actually won the Bernabeu 24 years ago and stuff like that. The last time, Real Madrid lost in regular time in a major Champions League knockout tie was on apparently May the 8th. May 7th is my birthday. So it's all looking a bit dizzy, heading into next week. I just hope, our guys don't get complacent. They don't see guys like Dyer and go like, yeah, this isn't really, going to be difficult. This is the first time in a long, long time we are heading into a major semi-final as massive favorites. It really makes me nervous. Um, I don't know what Jacob thinks about it. Jacob, does it make you nervous?
Yeah, it's a completely different dynamic to what we're used to, and like even
Mm,
because it's always like a lot of people don't expect us to go through, like so we always have bragging rights when we actually go through, but now we actually have to be scared. If we somehow
mm,
fumble the bag, like the
yeah.
end, and we're not gonna hear the end of it. So yeah, I'm legit scared.
Yeah. Mm. So I'm not alone. See, this is not we being pessimistic. I'm just being very real that this is unfamiliar territory for us, right? Like obviously we're the kings of the Champions League. You might wonder, why we think like that, but going off recent history, this is uh this is a different matchup. But I'm pretty sure, the boys will be up for it. The crowd will be up for it. I've seen Bayern fans on social media, on Twitter, on Reddit, claiming we will be easily silenced. The Bernabeu is going to be uh, uh, a small problem to deal with. Make sure the guys tuning in from Spain, people will be traveling for the game. Make sure that's not the case. I'm pretty sure the fans will be completely up for it. Um, season decider. Some couple of big decisions to make. Who starts at centre back? Who starts at at the keeping position? Like obvious, Lunin is going to be the guy, but you never know. You never know. Big up everyone again. Hopefully, we catch you on Tuesday for the Bayern preview. Until then, Alamadin.
Alamoted.
This episode is